Welcome everybody to a look at the Forza Horizon 6 car list, or at least the initial 93 that have been announced. So I'm not going to go and speculate about other cars that might well have been showing up in trailers or in their developer direct footage that was shown off via Xbox. I'm just going to talk about the ones that have been announced and then give some ones that I would like to see. So yeah, like I said, only 93 have so far been announced, so it's not even 1/5 of the car list overall, as there are apparently going to be more than 550, which I believe is about 100 more than the release of Forza Horizon 5. So, that is obviously going to be a lot of cars to look through when it comes to the car list being fully announced, which I will do when the game is released. But still, there's several interesting looking cars here. We've got the Acura NSX Type S being introduced to a Forza Horizon game. Now, this was obviously put on the most recent Forza Motorsport game, and really fantastic car to drive, so looking forward to seeing that in the open world. Then we got the Alfa Romeo Giulia GTA M. So this is part of the Italian Passion car pack, which has 3 other cars alongside it. But this and one of the ones that I'm most excited for. So yeah, and that's purely because it's just a really awesome looking, track-orientated looking version of the Alfa Romeo already, which is already a great car, but yeah, looks like a more track-orientated version of it. So really looking forward to that. And then other ones that stand out, obviously we're going to get the AutoZam AZ1 back, which again was also introduced in the previous game. Fantastic little K car, so really looking forward to seeing what we can do with that in Japan. Not sure if this BMW M3 has the right year, because we've usually only ever had the one from 1991 in previous games. So if we do get the older version, which apparently is quite rare, then that will be pretty cool. Then we've got the second vehicle from the Italian Passion car pack, the Ferrari 275 GTB4 Spider. Absolutely gorgeous looking Ferrari, and it'll be the first new Ferrari from the 60s that we've had in a Forza game for quite some time. Do apologise, still suffering from a bit of a cold. But yeah, it's a car that is going for millions these days in auctions. So yeah, we're really, really pleased to see that make a debut in a Forza game. We're also getting the Ferrari F80, which is the replacement for the Ferrari. That's also part of the Italian Passion car pack. So a nice new hypercar to look forward to there. Then we're getting the GR-GT prototype, which is actually the cover car for the game. So yeah, that is a really good looking car, and yeah, it's going to be one of the few supercars that Japan have ever produced. Obviously, you can look at the likes of the Honda NSX and the Lexus LFA, but yeah, this is one of those rare cars that Japan doesn't do all that often, but they do generally pull out all the stops when they do, because the LFA, as you probably will agree with, is hardly an underpowered or bad car to drive. And then from Honda, we're getting a few new ones. So we're getting the Honda City E2, which, yeah, looks pretty cool. It's a K car. Oh, no, it's not a K car, this one. This one's actually slightly bigger. Yeah, I just realised, it originally came with an engine much bigger than you were allowed with a K car. So it's not a K car, but it's, not massively off. And at the end of the day, far smaller than other kind of vehicles of that type. Then we're also getting the Honda Beat, which is a K car, and what I'm really looking forward to driving. Mid-engined, rear-wheel drive, and yeah, not a lot of power, but also not a lot of weight. And yeah, it's the kind of car that a lot of people have been looking forward to for a Forza game. Then we're getting the Honda Acti, which is a tiny K car van, basically. You'll have seen this in the trailer a lot, as it does look like it's also going to be an AI-driven car as well. So yeah, you'll see that plenty around, even if you don't drive it yourself. And then we're also getting the Honda E, which, yeah, I'm a massive fan of electric vehicles, so to finally get the a Japanese electric vehicle, which I don't think we've had before, is only a good thing. And yeah, again, rear-wheel drive, not a huge amount of power, but a very good-looking car as far as I'm concerned, with a fantastic interior. And yeah, then we're getting more Hondas as well. We're also getting Hyundai i20N, which is fantastic hot hatchback, the Ioniq 5N. Hopefully we can get the Ioniq 6N as well, which is newly released. Brace of Lamborghinis as per usual, nothing remarkable with regards to those. The only Lexus so far announced has been the LFA. Hopefully the LC500 does also make a return, and hopefully more Lexuses make a return. I hope the original LS400 makes a debut on this game. with the original headlights. I prefer that to the facelift that eventually came out in the later 90s. But yeah, hopefully the original LS400 comes out. Also getting the return of the Lucid Air Sapphire, which is one of my favourite electric cars. But then we're also getting the Maserati MC20. Now this is the car that I was surprised didn't make a debut in the previous Forza game. But still, it's going to be fantastic to drive, no doubt. Fantastic mid-engine rear-wheel drive car. Only Mazdas that have so far been announced are Forza Edition vehicles, but you know, there's typically going to be more than that, I hope. So from Mazda, given we are set in Japan in the likes of Tokyo. And then we're getting a brace of Mitsubishi, so there is a Time Attack car pack out as well. Probably not going to be the kind of car pack that I'm fully interested in, but I will at least try the cars out. But we're also getting the likes of the 1995 Mitsubishi Montero Exceed 2800 TD. So I believe that is the turbo diesel. But yeah, you'll have seen it in the trailer. You see it from behind and then it drives off to the left, I believe. So yeah, that's going to be a great car. And it will sit nicely alongside the Montero Evolution, which was brought to Forza Horizon 5 for the first time. Then we're getting more Nissans, nothing really there that we've not had before. The Power is making another return after being in a car pack in the previous game. Hopefully we get all 4 of those cars from the previous game in this one as well. We do have the S-Cargo Forza Edition, but I hope we get the standard one as well alongside the the BE1 and the Figaro. Hopefully we'll get the standard versions of those as well. We're also getting the return of the Stagia RS4V and yeah, the Z Nismo and the GTR Nismo as well, which is all nice. I know it's obviously not a game set in Europe, but it would be nice to have more Peugeots than the 205 Turbo 16 and the 106 Rally, I think it was. Hopefully the 308 GTI doesn't make a return, because it's a car that constantly comes back in Forza games, and it's an absolutely woeful car, and I don't know anyone that actually uses it. So yeah, hopefully that doesn't take up any space. And then we're getting a bunch of Toyotas. So some of these were debuts in previous Forza games. So like the Sports 800, the Chaser 2.5 Tora V, and the Sora 2.5 GTT. So yeah, all of those are returning, which is great because they're really rather fantastic cars. But then we're also getting newer ones like the GR86 and the DR Yaris. So yeah, they're the ones that have been announced. Now there are some that I would like to see make a debut as well, like the Honda 600 it was called, also the Honda Z. Very weird looking car, but it's a K car, so you know, very much a shrunk down vehicle. I'd love to see that make a debut, as well as the Honda N360 or the N600, whichever version. The number there basically denotes the cc's that it has in cubic capacity for the engine. But again, nice little K car. Also, I'd like to see the debut of Daihatsu to a Forza game. Surprisingly, we've never had a Daihatsu in a previous Forza game. And yeah, the Mira from the mid-80s would be a really rather nice car to have. Then the Honda Super 1 EV. So yeah, this is the prototype version, but apparently it is a real thing, and it's a more wide-body version of the standard N1 EV. So yeah, this actually has more power than the petrol-driven versions of the K car. But being a K car, you know, they're restricted by cubic capacity in the engine. An electric car doesn't have cubic capacity, so you could basically go as big as you want, really, in terms of horsepower and such. So yeah, I would love that to make an entrance. It's basically a smaller version of the Honda E. And then I'd like to see the likes of Isuzu make a debut to the Forza games. This looks like a Fiat Dino in a lot of ways, but yeah, we surprisingly again never had an Isuzu vehicle in a previous Forza game. Obviously, they're more well known for, you know, doing engines and such for other manufacturers and such, but I'd still like to see them make a debut. We've also never had we haven't had a Suzuki in previous Forza Horizon games, but we did have the I'm forgetting now, the Top Gear reasonably starring Liana, that is it. The Suzuki Liana and the Suzuki SX4. They're the only two Suzukis we've ever had before, but even they were only in Forza Motorsport 4. So it's been a really long time since we've had a Suzuki in previous games. So yeah, I'd love to see the likes of the Cappuccino make a debut, which is the Honda Beat rival. So yeah, I'd love to see that make a return. I'd also like to see Prince make a debut to the Forza game. Now, this is obviously going to be something that comes down to a rights issue, because they were eventually merged with Nissan in 1966. But this is where Nissan got a few of its most notable names. Skyline is from Prince, also the R380 name for the racing car, and Gloria. So all of those came from Prince. So yeah, I'd really like to see them make a debut in the game to go alongside all the other Nissans that we'll inevitably have. Obviously, this does look quite like an American car, but that's just because Japan really didn't have much in the way of ideas back in the in their early days. So yeah, but still, it'd be interesting to have. We've also never had any cars from Mitsuoka, which are most well known for doing their rip-offs of other cars. Try and work out what car this is based off originally. It's quite clearly a Micra with a bit of Jaguar knocked on both ends. So yeah, I'd love to see their weird versions of their cars make a debut. You've also got the likes of the Galoo, which is basically a Rolls Royce, and then you've got the Himiko Roadster, which looks like a Morgan. I just like their idea of getting their kind of cars. You know, you got like the Buddy here, which looks like a American pickup truck in terms of its grille and its headlights, and yet back from there it's just a standard SUV. Then you got the Zero Edition, which looks like a Lancia. And then obviously you got the Lassard, which most people will recognise from one of the, I think it was the Grand Tour episodes. I think Clarkson drove one of those. And then you got the Ryoga, which looks like a Jaguar again. And then you have the Orochi, which is one of their more original cars. It's not a pretty car, but it's definitely more original than the other ones. So they're not a knockoff of any other cars. And finally, we've never had anything from Daihatsu either, another Japanese manufacturer. So, like I said, I'd love the Compagno to be released because it is quite an iconic car. It was, I think, the first Japanese car to be exported to the likes of Europe and the UK. So, like I said earlier, I would really like to have Daihatsu on, and it's another car that cropped up in my research for this video. So yeah, there are plenty of cars that have obviously been announced. There's several there that are new to the Forza series, and there are many that are returning as well that I'm really looking forward to driving as well. Especially new map, new roads, new environment and such to drive them around means that any cars that do return are only going to just have a second life basically. So yeah, really looking forward to seeing what else is going to be announced. Obviously this is only the first 93. There are going to be 550 plus in total, and then there's obviously the 30 cars that are going to come with a car pass. Then there's going to be cars via hopefully the Horizon Festival playlist and such, and then obviously the expansions. There's going to be 2 of those. There will undoubtedly be new cars added to those as well. So we're going to have a lot of cars in this game. I just hope that the variety is there and the cars reflect the country that it is set in, which I don't think happened all that much with Forza Horizon 5. There were a few cars there that were, native to Mexico and such, but unlike Forza Horizon 4, which really did reflect the country that it was in, which was the UK, the car list, although it wasn't exclusively reflective of the country that it was in, there were a lot of cars in there that debuted in the Forza Horizon series in that game, and quite frankly haven't really returned since. Like the Hillman Imp, all of the Triumphs. We had the TR7, the TR6. And then we had the midgets, and then we had the Austin 7 and such like that. And obviously those are cars that aren't going to be all that widely popular, and I can understand why. But it was a shame that they haven't returned to subsequent Forza games. But still, hopefully this game reflects its Japanese environment. The initial car list does look like that's going to be the case, but hopefully we do get manufacturers that we haven't had for either a while or at all. Isuzu, Suzuki, Daihatsu. I think Prince would be a bit of a stretch to get, but I don't think Mitsuoka would be much of a issue to get either. So yeah, I just want as many cars out there as possible, and with a good variety, and they aren't just relying on the standard kind of cars that we get time and time again. So yeah, that's just my thoughts on the initial car list. I did jump for joy when the Honda E was quickly shown off on one of the videos. It wasn't, a central part of the video, but I saw it immediately, and I was, really happy that I was making a debut. And hopefully we do get more EVs from the likes of Japan or worldwide in general, because there are plenty out there that I do think deserve a go. And I'm going to say this now, and it's probably going to be something that a lot of people are going to cringe at or, reveal against, but bring back the Toyota Prius. I know it's not a car that everyone likes, and you know, but I'd like to see the new, at least a new version of that be put in the game. It is quite a significant Japanese car at the end of the day, and we are set in Japan, so it would be perhaps a bit weird to not have that in the game, given how much of a success that has been for Toyota over the years. So yeah, but nonetheless, if you are have any thoughts on the car list at the moment, what is standing out for you at the moment out of the 93 that have been announced, and what other cars you'd like to see added to the game, I'd like to hear your thoughts on them. But nonetheless, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.